Well, nothing can top off your Mother's Day meal quite like a homemade pie. And joining us from Southern Baked Pie to get us ready to treat Mom this weekend is Amanda Wilbanks. Thank you for coming in this morning. We appreciate you joining us.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be back.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We always love having you here.
Well, thank you.
And, tell us a little bit about what, in your opinion, what makes pies so special?
I think what makes pies so special is their comfort and they're nostalgic. And it's like tradition. It reminds you of your grandparents and your mother and the delicious, yummy things they made.
Sure, and lots of things that you can do with them. A lot of versatility, too.
Yes.
But what are you making for us this morning?
So what I'm going to make for us today is a strawberry pie. Okay. Strawberries are succulent and sweet and in season right now. And every year at Mother's Day, we bring strawberry pie back at the pie shop at Southern Baked Pie Company. So I want to teach you all my tips and tricks.
Okay.
Okay, Joanne, this is really simple. So what we're doing is we're going to add about a half a cup of sugar to our strawberries. And then we're going to add some flour. That's going to be our thickening agent in our recipe. So we'll add about a fourth a cup of flour. And all we're going to do is mix this together. So it's kind of mix, stir, and then set aside and let this form a little bit of a paste. The strawberries will release their juices, and then you'll get that juicy, delicious filling on the inside of the pie.
And it's amazing how just a bowl of strawberries smells as delicious as this smells right
now.
now.
I know, it is amazing. So what we're going to do next is we're going to move on to our pie crust.
Okay.
Now, pie crust can be a little bit intimidating. You want to use all cold ingredients when you start with your pie crust. And oftentimes at the pie shop at Southern Baked, people will come in and say, what makes your pie crust so good?
Sure.
And I said, okay, I've given the recipe away in our cookbook, but I also just came out with this pie crust mix, which is easy as like Betty Crocker.
Just taking a few extra steps out of it for the rest of us.
Exactly. We make it simple. We go ahead and measure everything out. You just pour your ingredients into the bowl. So we've added that. Put this to the side. And then we're going to add two other ingredients, which is cold butter. And you want to use unsalted butter so that you can control the salt in it. And there's already a little bit of salt and sugar in our mix right there. And then you're going to just use a pastry knife and just work your butter into the flour.
Okay.
Which doesn't take a lot of effort. This is a quick and easy process. So once you get your butter into pea-sized pieces, you want to take and add some water.
Okay. So as intimidating as this can be for people, it really shouldn't be. There aren't that many ingredients for one.
There really isn't. You know, biscuits and pie and pastry can be intimidating, but if you have your ingredients measured out and you're ready to go, it's really not a hard process. So you just want to keep working this together for about another minute or two. You're not going to overwork it, and it's going to start coming together and forming a ball of dough.
Okay.
So once it forms our ball of dough, here we go. It's going to look nice and beautiful and soft and tender. You want a tender, flaky dough. You're going to take this recipe will make 2 doughs. You'll put it in the fridge, chill it for 2 hours, and then you'll pull it out and start making your pie.
And when everybody's talking about your secrets to the perfect pie crust, obviously you've got this right here. But you also mentioned something about making sure the ingredients are cold.
Yes, so freezing cold water. I even put the pie crust mix in the freezer for about an hour before I decide to make my crust. I'm a little bit over the top about pie crust. And then I make sure that my butter is super cold.
So if somebody comes over to your house, they're opening up the freezer. Why is there flour and sugar and all this?
Yes, they're thinking, what is wrong with this lady? Why does she have all this in the freezer? Well, I have already rolled out a pie crust for us and gotten it ready. And I'm going to put this in my mother-in-law's pie dish that she gave me years ago.
It's a beautiful dish.
Thank you. I always like to make a pie for Sandy at Mother's Day because she's the one that taught me how to make my first pie.
Fantastic.
So a sweet little tribute to her. And so what we're going to do is just push it into the sides of the pie crust. You can see it's a nice tender dough. You don't want to add too much water. That will make it tough. So that's a key step when making your ingredients. And then we're just going to take our strawberries and empty them into our pie shell here. And it's okay if you still see a little bit of flour and a little bit of sugar. That is perfectly fine. Another little trick is...
Now, if you let that sit longer, will that...
It'll eventually come together and that'll go away. And then when you cook it in the oven, all that's going to go away and turn into this delicious strawberry-like juice. So we'll slide this forward a little bit, and then we will take and we're going to cut strips for the top of the pie crust, which we've already done here. And I'll let you help me just add the strips to the pie. This is where you can get creative. You can get your kids in the kitchen at Mother's Day, and you can cut strips with a fluted pie cutter, which makes this beautiful indentation in the strips.
Nice.
You can cut big strips or small strips. However you want to decorate your pie is totally up to you.
Do lattice work.
Do your lattice work and your little weave. So I always fold back my first and second and fold it across, and then my second and fourth. and then fold it across.
Ah, so pretty.
Yeah, isn't it beautiful? And you can't do it wrong. It's all up to however you want to make it look.
Well, and this seems like this would be a great thing, not only to make for Mom, but maybe make with Mom, too.
It would be. It would
thing
be
to share.
It's a good thing to share.
Yeah. And speaking of sharing, you've actually got a new location opening up soon, right? Tell us about that.
So we're opening a new store in Vinings, in the Vinings Jubilee. It's in this cute little cottage. It just looks like the quintessential pie shop.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes.
And you're going to be able to offer classes and demos and things like
Exactly.
that?
It's a bigger space, so we'll be able to have classes and private parties, so you can come for a kids party or just a girls' night out and learn to make a delicious pie.
Okay, and so real quickly, once we've gotten to this
Yes.
point, how do you finish that
Once we
off?
get to this point, so then we're going to take it, we're going to pop this in the oven on 400 for about 15 minutes, and then 325 for 45 minutes to an hour. And at the end, you end up with a beautiful, delicious looking strawberry
too
pie.
good to be true.
It is too, it can be too good to be true.
Amanda, thank you so much for
Thank you,
this.
Joanne.
Eager to give that a try and give my hand a try at making one my own.
Yes, exactly. And we say anytime if you fail at making it, just come get one from Southern Baked Pie Company,
Exactly.
and we'll have a perfect one ready for you.
That sounds like a perfect plan.
That
Thank
is-
you so
thank
much.
you.
And if you would like more on today's recipe or Southern Pie Company, you can go to fox5atlanta.com and click on the Good Day tab.